Hi teacher, now we are going to explain about the listening skill. My name is Gabriela Palacios and I am going to talk about the overview of listening section. The purpose of this section is that the students or test taker must comprehend a conversation, lectures, and discussions. In this part, there are two formats, the short format and the long format. The short format includes two conversations, two lectures, and two discussions. And the long format includes three conversations, three lectures, and three discussions. Each format has from 5 to 6 questions. The disadvantage is that one of the formats is not graded. For this reason, it's important that the test taker answer the questions correctly. You will hear each passage one time. For this reason, it's important that the test taker must take notes about the main points of the record of the audio, and it's important that the test taker follow the directions. If the test taker take the exam in the computer, he or she cannot return to previous question. And the listening sections is divided into sets. Each set includes one conversation, one lecture, and one discussion. For the short format, the test taker has 20 minutes to answer the questions, and for the long format, the test taker has 3 minutes to answer the questions.
Well, my name is Marlon Solis and I'm going to explain some types of questions in the listening section of the topic. Problem 15, purpose. Purpose asks you to explain why the speakers are having a conversation or why the speaker is uh, presenting something in the lecture. So it's equivalent to 1 point and the frequency level is average. The next is problem 16, details. Details ask you to answer a question about a specific point in the lecture or the conversation. It's equivalent to 1 point and the frequency level is very high. The next is problem 17, technique. Technique asks you to draw a conclusion based on information in the lecture or conversation. It's equivalent to 1 point and the frequency level is very high. The next is problem 18, pragmatics. Pragmatics asks you to comprehend the function of language on a level deeper than the surface meaning. Sometimes you may need to see or infer the purpose or the motivation of the speakers. And sometimes you have to infer what the speaker is saying. So in here, it's equivalent to 1 or 2 points, and the frequency level is very high. And the problem 19 is the main idea. The main idea asks you to identify the topic of the lecture. That is, what is the lecture mainly about? And in here, it's equivalent to 1 point, and the frequency level is high. Thank you.
And I'm Maria Sanchez, and I'm gonna talk about problem 20. It's about organization, and this problem has to recognize the rhetorical structure of lecture, and the participants can answer this problem recognizing chronological order, steps in a sequence, cause and effect, and also comparison. It marks 1 point and the frequency level is average. In problem 21st, it's about details, and this problem has to answer a question about a specific point, and the test taker can choose from 2 or 3 answers from the 4 or 6 statements. It marks 1 point and the frequency level is average. In the problem 22 is about technique, and this problem has to identify the way that the professor makes a point. The participant can answer this type of question following comparing, providing a definition, and giving an example. Also, it marks 1 point, and the frequency of the frequency level is average. Next, please. Problem 23 is about yes, no. And this problem has to decide whether a statement agree or disagree with information. It marks from 1 to 2 points, and the level of frequency level is average. In problem 24, it's about connection, and it asks to relate ideas or information in the lecture. Also, the test taker can match answer with categories, list order, or events, and process and show relationships on the chart. Each problem marks from 1 to 4 points, and the level of frequency is average.
Hi, teacher. My name is Diego Mazon, and I'm going to talk about some listening strategies we have for the listening section. So first, the most important thing here is to get organized so as we do not waste any time during the test. First that we're going to do is to adjust the volume level to a comfortable level in which you can listen and not be too loud or too silent. And then you have to be prepared to listen. Let's go to the next one, please. Next, we have to pay attention. We have to preview and pay attention to all the introductions, all the instructions that they give us before the test. And you have to glance at the photos. Usually in listening questions, there is a photo or a set of photographs that you can check so that you can understand what the topic is about. Next. Sometimes you have to use the visuals so that you determine what the topic is about. So, for example, you can glance at the photos of the people who are talking, or you can focus on the content of the visuals, whether it is for a history listening or a science listening. You can check that on the photos. Next, we are gonna focus on the why, the who, the when, and the where of the questions. This way we can read the questions and develop a rhythm. How can we develop a rhythm? By practice and by doing these tests one and over again. Finally, we have to understand the campus context. What does this mean? What is the language that we are using in this type of tests? We have to learn what the campus vocabulary is in our university. We have to understand some pragmatic cues. What are pragmatic cues is the context in which the lecture is given. And finally, but most importantly, we have to learn how to concentrate, and we have to focus on the test materials so as we do not waste any time or any second during the listening section, and we have to stay calm, otherwise we will make mistakes.
Okay, my name is Josué Garzón, and I am going to explain about academic skills. Taking notes is one of the most important skills in the listening section. It's about your ability to take notes, and then you can divide them into major and minor points. Your ability to take notes will play an important role in the listening section in order to choose the appropriate answers. Paraphrasing is another skill, and it is about your ability to recognize phrases due to many answers are paraphrases. Summarizing is another skill, and the first question in the listening the listening session could be about a recognition or summary, the purpose or the main idea. So this is another important skill to take into account. The next one, please. Now there are some suggestions for you. For example, you can organize a study plan. You can organize a chronogram or a schedule. and you can practice the listening, the listening section. Moreover, you can listen to an international news broadcast from English-speaking countries like United Kingdom, Australia, or United States. It has many benefits for you actually, because you will learn a lot of vocabulary and grammar expressions with a native accent. Moreover, you can watch educational television programs, and it has the same benefits as I explained before. But I consider Netflix series as another material to take into account, because after a long day or after working, you can watch a Netflix series, and you can improve your listening skill in a more freely way, in a funny way, we can say. And that is it. Thank you.